Hello YouTube, RJ. Hey, thought we'd go ahead and open up the new radio kit we got in. This is a transistorized regen, and I'm just curious what if any instructions we have, what it looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up, take a look at it, and then from that point we'll come. I'll probably stop at that point and pick back up. Probably not today, but. Ooh, I think we got instructions. Man, make my day. So take a look at it and come back and probably tomorrow and get started on it. So let's take a look at what we got. Oh, we got a disc. Interesting. Let's see what we got here. Very excited to see instructions. Got a parts list. Looks like we've got instructions on. Got a schematic. Well, that looks very helpful. Let's see what it says. I didn't see anything it said about the disc. What are the part different additions to the original design on the CR? Any questions? The CDR includes a copy of the original instructions, which says operating notes and circuit theory. Okay, great. I think we've got a lot more information to work with on this kit than we had in the previous. So I think we're going to have a lot better luck in the build with this one. This is from Pirate Pete's Electronics. Nice board. Looks good. Silk screen looks good. Since we've got an accurate parts list that lines up, that's very helpful. Here's our capacitors. These are additions for additionally, I guess, there's some mods that you can do depending on what you want to do. What do I have here? Some more. More components. And we got a speaker. That's nice. I had seen that there was a note about not having to use headphones because it came with a speaker. Oh, that's an interesting looking pot. Another 9-volt battery clip. Here is our variable capacitor. Looks just like the one on the 3-tube. Pretty stoked for this one. I think this one's going to probably go a little better than the previous one. So I'm kind of stoked about that. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the CDR. Then I'll knock off and I'll pick up in a day or so. And we will build this rascal and see how we come out with this one. So see you in a day or so. Okay, I'm back. I've had a chance to look on the DVR that Pirate Pete from Pirate Pete Electronics sent me. And it turns out what's on there is this. Turns out this was a Science Fair Radio Shack project where you built this on a perf board in the old days. I remember these. And this is the old documentation. And of course, very, very prudent to this kit, because this is what this kit is. What they've done is they've produced a circuit board for it, but they took some additional little add-on improvements, if you will, that you can optionally do or not do. And so this step-by-step takes you through the build. The only thing is it's based around doing it on you know, perf board, and we're doing it on circuit board. But you know, compared to the other two kits we've done, this thing is marvelous as far as instructions. Takes you through winding your coil and how you want to do it, and you know, and gives you schematics and talks about how you can turn your coil different lengths to get different frequencies if you want. Where when you go over to the new kit, the modern kit, he just kind of outlines some of the differences. Okay. Some additional parts that are added to this kit that lets you do some of the niceties. And his is set up with a dip switch so that you can tap the coil and you can choose the frequency bands with a dip switch. So that's nice. His offers an RF buffer amplifier. That's nice. So, you know, also an LM386 speaker drive, and he provides a little speaker for it. We'll build it out that way. I still probably will rig it up to be able to plug into our amplified speakers so that I can keep that part even on the shootout with all the different radios. And on the back, he gives the schematic for his complete design with the additions. So very nice. He says that the silk screen here, the component callouts match both his list, but because he's just telling you what's different and not telling you step by step how to build it, it matches the old. So that allows you to go step by step checking off, if you want to, all of your parts and do your steps check by check. So that's very nice. So we're much better equipped with instructions on this one. And with that, it means I probably won't have a need to sit and explain so much of what I'm doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, and then I'll quickly kick over to a time lapse so you can see me put the components on and build up this board quicker. I'll stop the time lapse if there's things that I feel need to be pointed out, but you'll be able to see what I'm doing. It's probably going to be pretty straightforward to put a capacitor in and solder it, put another capacitor and solder it, another resistor. So we'll do that. And that way we want to end up with a 2-hour long video for you guys to have to trudge through. So I'll get started and we'll see where how we make out. So let me get set up here and then we'll take off. Okay, looks like the first thing that they're wanting us to do is put our push-in terminals in. I guess we can do that. Seems like they're taller than the resistors and stuff, so you'd think you'd do that. Yeah, let's do it their way. And so they're going in these holes here. So and there's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, here you go for your coal. Okay. That's what they want us to put in first, so we're going to do it. It's probably going to be in your way a little there to see, but putting a little weight here to hold it down, keep them pushed in good while I solder them. Get them tacked down. Actually, I probably need the heavier solder for this, would be easier. So let me put this one on here. If I can get it to make sure those stay in. And let's try to get this soldered here. But I need to reach and pull this out for myself so I don't have to breathe all that. So let's see what we can do here. Okay. See how it looks. All right, they're soldered in. That problem is resolved. So I can check off that step. Okay, they're in. Talking about the tuning control bracket. I don't think there's a tuning control bracket for this. These go straight on the board. All right, obviously this tuning capacitor does not go down, or goes down on the board, doesn't mount on something. Let's see if his descriptions say anything. Let's make sure. Yep, they're wanting you to put this on. I wonder how this mounts down. Does this maybe go under? It must go down under. I mean, they gave you the 2 screws. That's okay. Okay, so we mount her like that, and the knob will end up going. There's nothing that locks the knob other than the screw and friction. So see, it doesn't give enough friction. Try to tighten her a little bit more. No, that didn't. It's just slipping around. That knob doesn't work too good. I'm sorry, Pistol Pete or Pirate Pete. The knob y'all give does not work very well. I don't see how it's supposed to engage and turn anything. Now maybe I can put a washer on there and tighten it down a little more, or tighten it back down. Okay, I got a washer. Let's see what happens if I do this now. Will it tighten down enough to bite now? Yes. Okay, that'll work. That's what the problem was. Okay, that was our problem. That's what we needed to overcome. All right, that works. Oh, it's coming loose. Not a good design, guys. Maybe that's going to hold. We'll see. 500 ohm potentiometer. No, we hadn't done that. That's this. Okay. Okay, we have a 500 ohm potentiometer here, according to them. Fasten in place. Well, in our case, it's soldered to a board, so. Now, I didn't solder that variable capacitor in yet, and I guess I need to work on that. We'll get him in, we'll do both of them. Okay, that's in. So these need to get soldered. And these need to get soldered. I gotta figure out how to get them in the holes. Well, they're wider than the holes, so to push them in there and let them round around a little, I guess. Well, they're not plated through holes, so they just need to be soldered to this side. Okay, so that helps. Just get them stuck in the hole and solder them and you'll be okay. Let's straighten this one out a little bit. It looks a little more professional. That'll work. Okay. Let's fire up the soldering iron. And let's put these rascals in. All right, now that's done. R3. That's the volume control. But that's not what we get here. We get this little rascal. So they're talking about, oh, R8. It is marked right there. I'm just blind. Okay, so now we're wanting to put this on. It's funny they're putting all the tall stuff on first. That's backwards. You really should do it the other way around. But we're going to follow their instructions. We're going to build it the way they want it built. So we just got to get him pushed in. Get the snap-in lugs to snap over, which are a little tight. I don't want to break them. Come on, baby. There we go. You're going. You're tight, but you're going. You're not quite there. Come on, get in there. Boy, these holes are plenty tight, Pete. Could have made them just a little bit looser. That's it, we're in. We're level. So, just need to solder up these small ones right here, and I'll knock them out right now. I'm going to use my smaller solder. It's not making a mess out of this. Made a mess out of that. Let me do this. Let's see if a little flux will help clean that mess up. I bridged every one of the pins by using too big a solder. I didn't realize I grabbed my big solder. Get the solder wick out this time. I don't clean her up this time. Okay, solder wick now. Dig in the drawer, get our solder wick out. A little more flux on there. Clean solder wick. Clean soldering iron. Okay, let's see what we ended up with here. All right, that's good. Nothing wrong with that. Fix that problem. Fix that problem right here, right now. I will leave this out in case we need it again. See, some of this isn't going to make a lot of sense because being the circuit board, we're not jumping from one thing to another. So you're almost going to be at this point ready just to put all the small parts into the board. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get going with solder all of these parts on. Like I said, I'll time lapse it. I'll come back when I'm going and let you see the time lapse. And if there's anything I run into I want to bring up, I'll come back. As you might notice, what I'm doing is I'm taking the LCR meter and I'm reading the resistors, and then I'm finding where they go and put them. That's the most efficient way you're going to do this when they, when the resistors are not marked up for you, where you can look and say, okay, resistor 1 is this value, find that value and put it in. The easiest way is, since you got to measure the resistor, unless you're really good with the colors. I'm not. I'm partially colorblind, just let you know that. I'm one of those 10% of men that are somewhat red-green. So the colors can be problematic for me. And I'm old, I don't see them as well either. So it's much more effective just to have a meter right there and read them. You don't have to have an LCR meter. If you got one of these cheap little capacitance meters like I've showed in the past, here I'll show you real quick. They make these things. You can pick one of these up for like 19 bucks, 12 bucks. You can use one of those for capacitors. Obviously your cheap meter will do your resistance. It's just I've got an LCR hanging right here. Push a button and use and do it all. So I'm calibrating the meter is what I'm doing right now for capacitance, so that it can takes a minute to do that, and I'm calibrating the LCR, so I'll get a real accurate reading on these capacitors, make sure I'm getting the right ones. So anyway, to me that's the most efficient way. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to look at the markings here, but I'm going to go ahead and use the LCR just to verify what I believe they are to prevent any mistakes, and then I'm going to go through. It looks like maybe these are your main components, and then these are like your extra components to add on better, features. So I'm going to finish the main build with this parts list and then go see what's going on here. There's an LM386 in here for amplification to run the speaker, and I'm debating whether just not do that circuit and just clip to the ear speaker, put me a jack for the amplified. That's probably what I'm going to do. I'm probably not going to put that part of the system on, and so we'll probably skip that. There's a few features like the fine tuning. I may put it on. As well as I do, fine tuning would be a benefit on this. I'm not sure where that fine tune. Oh, I guess this VR1 is the fine tune. That's your region. Oh no, the fine tune goes right here. I'm seeing. Let me show you. Right here. I was reading that thinking it's this spot. I'm like, no, that's the region. That little pot drops right in here and lets you do fine tuning. I think that's a great feature. So I'll definitely be adding that. So, all right, we're calibrated. We're ready to start back. So here we go. That completes this bag, the first bag of parts, which I think are the original parts. I think from this point, most of these parts maybe are, well, no, this shows 2 more transistors. So I don't know. I don't know how they divided up the parts, but we'll keep moving on. I'm going to keep working off this parts list for the original, and then we'll go to the newer stuff for the additions and look at, what's additions and what do we want to add and such. So we'll keep working away. I think what I want to do is there's 2 transistors that are on this list I want to find and get those in right now. Well, I got my static strap on, I can take it back off then. So those are 2 SB54s. And that is not. That's definitely not. That looks like a variactor. You think these 2 would have to be it, right? These are 3906Bs. Okay, Q1 and 2. Okay, 2 and 3. Okay, on our parts list differences, they're using 3906s. Okay, so these 2 are probably both 3906s. That one is. That one is. So those are the ones that are going in place of the 2 SB54s. So that's Q2 and 3. So let's find Q2. I have screwed up. I just realized I screwed up. No. That's not that the transistor that the pad wasn't normal. That I read Q1. It's D1. Totally my screw up. I've got to get him out and moving. So we'll warm up the desoldering iron and we'll get him going. And let's go ahead and find Q2 and Q3 and get them in. Here's Q2. All right, well, we're making good headway. I'm going to take a break for a moment, think about how I'm going to do the coal. I'll come back once I've got a decision how I'm going to do the coal, and we can move forward on that. I'll see you in a couple minutes.